glue some other hair in it to this. It didn't work out, so that's why it's all gluey. Like, my son wanted me to do my hair like that, like this. He said, "Mommy, do a mohawk."
It's fun.
Yeah, I see my kid all the time. I talk to him all the time.
How many kids do you have?
4. My oldest just turned 24. My birthday's the 31st. I'll be 44. Been out here for like almost 30 years, on and off.
30 years on Skid Row?
Yeah. I started off MacArthur Park. Well, Hollywood area. I did escort service.
So you were an escort from what age?
I was an escort from 13.
13.
Yeah. And the men knew that I was that age. They would.
Yeah, there seems to be a market
They
for
would
that.
specifically call for me, which is kind of sad. I think about it now, it's kind of sad, but at the same time, I was thinking, well, you know, if they want to be with somebody young, then at least they're with me and not with somebody, you know, younger or whatever. But anyways, yeah. So like I get paid between $300 and $500 a date. Sometimes I didn't even have to do anything. It was just arm candy, going to parties or whatever, being like there, going out to dinner.
Were you saving money back then?
No, because I had a pimp. It's a story I really, you know, haven't really thought about in a long time. So I grew up in Oxnard, you know, and a Navy base, Port Hueneme. Come from middle upper class family, was very secluded, very closed. Our family was very closed-minded. If you were of another race, my grandfather was really racist. Like, I don't know if it was intentional or what, but my grandfather's Irish. I'm Italian, my grandmother's Italian. And my dad, I barely got to meet him in 2015, but he's Indian. So it's like, imagine, Cherokee, Indian, Italian, and Irish. 3 drinkers. Allbad.com, like all bad. I was severe alcoholic, really bad. And I got I want to be in the in crowd. I was straight A student, straight A, had a scholarship with the Philharmonic Orchestra. And I dropped out of school in 9th grade because I didn't want, I wanted to be popular, you know? And I never dated, like never had a boyfriend, never went to prom, never went to dances, never did none of that because I wasn't allowed to do any of that. So dropped out and I ran away from home. I ran away all the way here to Hollywood. And then from on and off for about a year and a half, I was here. And then I got away from him, from the pimp, got away from him and went up to Grand Rapids, Michigan. I don't know how the hell I got over there. I know I was in big rigs, you know, hitchhiking all the way up there. Then I got busted for running a prostitution ring. They tried to get me for running a prostitution ring because they got me in a dope house, and I was the only one there. I was running this house. I was their madam or whatever you want to call it, and I was there. And then they said they were going to give me 10 to 15 years per person that was up in that house. And I started crying. I said, I'm a minor, please, I'm a minor, And I was, sure enough, they checked on the missing and exploited children, and I was there on the internet. My grand.
So how does you were 13 when the pimp?
I was 13.
How did the pimp approach you?
Well, he was my so-called boyfriend. Like,
That's
I
what they
wanted
do,
to be
yeah.
in. He had the coke. I was doing a lot of coke then, a lot of crack, a lot of coke, like. And when he got me where he wanted, he had me chained to where I couldn't leave, like literally on my foot in the hotel room, this Hollywood Celebrity Hotel in Hollywood off of Cherokee or something like that, on Highland, like around that area. So I was there, like, he would have the people come there because I tried to get away once and I didn't make it, but he would have the people come there, and he would get paid good money, you know?
How many guys a day would you entertain?
Between 3 and 5.
13-year-old girl.
13.
And you did this until when?
Like almost 15. And then I got away because he sold me to somebody and they let me go. Yeah, so he sold me to this guy. I guess this guy, he was
So somebody stepped in and
Egyptian. He was Egyptian or something like that. He was a date. So he paid good money for me. He paid like almost $5,000 to $10,000 or something.
To get you away from the pimp.
To take me. And as soon as he took me, he drove me away and he let me out.
That's sweet.
And I should have went home. I should have went back to my grandparents, but I was too much of a drug addict then.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. And I was just thinking where I was going to get my next high, what I was going to do. So I hitchhiked, you know, and a lot of the big rig drivers, they do a lot of coke to stay awake. They did a lot of coke to stay awake, and I would go with them. And, you know, I figured, well, you know, if they're going to drive me here, you know, the ticket costs this much. This is what I'm going to do for that, you know. At least I get to sleep. They're going to feed me, you know. And so I thought it was a win-win, you know, on everything. Until that happened, and then I got arrested and went to big jail. My first time in big jail, I was crying. It was all bad. And then my uncle's a sheriff for Ventura County Sheriff's Department. He flew from there to Grand Rapids, Michigan, to pick me up on the airplane. And he's very bitter towards me now. I haven't seen my family in a minute because I don't like to be put down. I don't like them to see me different than what they knew me as before. I don't want my cousins to see me different. I don't know. I'm ashamed more than anything. But I was doing really good until the last 2 years. Like 2 years ago, I left my son's dad, my youngest dad, because he cheated on me. He said I wasn't good enough for him. I was real fat. I was like almost 300 pounds.
Wow.
So I decided to start doing crystal meth and crack together. I did it for 3 weeks. I did not sleep 21 days. I looked like a serpent. My eyes were yellow. I had got cellulitis because I got poisoned from like all the drugs that I was doing. I didn't know how to do it. And it was really bad. I had a fever of 106 and I almost died.
But you lost the weight.
That's when I quit crack.
But you lost the weight?
I lost 100 pounds in 3 weeks.
It's a hell of a diet drug.
I didn't eat. I didn't drink. I didn't nothing. I could literally feel my skin eating itself. Like stuff crawling all in your skin, all over everywhere. It was really bad. Nobody taught me how to smoke crystal. They never taught me how. I just thought, oh, you just do it the same like crack. No, you don't.
Do you still have teeth?
Huh? I had social. Just a front.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I had those before all this happened, you know. I had a set of partials, but they don't
So
fit.
These are your actual teeth?
These are my teeth.
These are your teeth. So your teeth survived all the crack and crystal
Well,
meth.
they hurt. These, I don't have all of them. I just have my front ones, but that's still better than a lot of other people.
Yeah, most people are missing their teeth.
I could have them taken out. I should, really, because they hurt. You know, a lot of my teeth hurt, but.
So we know about your teen years. What about your 20s and 30s? How old are you?
I'll be 44 on the 31st.
So 20s, 30s, and now you're 40. What kind of stuff have you been doing during those decades?
Okay, when I was 20, I got married when I was 18 to a trick. I got him his papers and I got off the street. So I thought, hey, this is still, but I was still dipping into crack. I lived in Lafayette in MacArthur Park area. So I lived over there with him, and then I got pregnant. And I had my daughter a week before I turned 21. And I never had a real job until I got with him. So I had a job at Universal Studios, and then I got pregnant. I had to quit my job. And I had her a week before I turned 21. Then when she was 3, I left him because he was abusive. Like, he was very abusive to me. When she was 3, I left. I went to Georgia. My family's in Georgia. And I stayed there for about almost a year. And then the federal agents, the marshals, came and got me for my job. I was a waitress, a cook at Waffle House in Beaufort, Georgia. And so I was there, and they came and they picked me up. And they said, you're a wanted woman. So they flew me back. They extradited me from Georgia to here.
For what?
Extradited.
No, what for?
For kidnapping.
Oh.
My daughter. Like, 'cause I was married to him, and I didn't tell him where I was taking her. So technically he needed to know where I was taking her. And he didn't even want my daughter. You know, he just did it because he know that's where it will hurt me the most, is if that happened. So he played the part of Mr. Goody Goody, bringing the Bible with him to court all the time. And I was like, gosh, dang. I'm like, God, if these are your disciples, you need to shoot them in the head. You know, like, seriously, he's like there with the Bible and stuff. And I was like, if they only seen the house, if they only seen what he does behind closed doors, you know, if he only sees how he really treats a woman. Like, they would lock me in the house. He had a padlock on the outside of my doors, and my windows, everything in the house. Locks on the outside that he had locked. Well, I couldn't get to. So like when he would leave, and he would unplug the phone, all that. Like, I didn't have a cell phone or nothing. I didn't have no contact with nobody. Like, during those 3, 4, 5 years that I was with him. Because I was from 18 to 21. 18, 19, 20, 3 years. 3 years. I was with him through 3 years, and it's the worst 3 years of my life. But I seen a lot of stuff, you know. He's Salvadorian. So, like, I pretty much seen a lot of stuff. And then when I left him, went there, got extradited back here, did a 1.5 years in county jail. That's when county jail was over here at Twin Towers. Did a 1.5 years. I was a trustee. I did that front area of the Twin Towers that has all the flowers and the cement and all that. I helped do that. I was one of the trustees that did it. My name's carved in there somewhere on that thing, on the cement. And so, and then from then I was supposed to see my kid. When I got out, I was supposed to see my kid. But the mediator was him. So how am I going to have a mediator that's the same person that, you know, that I'm, my ex? How are you going to have a mediator that's him? You need to have somebody else different. But I think he paid him off, you know? Anyway, so I see my daughter once when she was little. And I barely got to see her when I got pregnant with my son, and my son's 9. So like, I've only known her or her whereabouts for 9 years. Because I was pregnant, and then I went to see her, and she didn't want to see me. She blames me for everything bad that happened to her, that I wasn't there to help. Like the sexual abuse, she was sexually abused, my daughter. She's 23 or 24, I'm not sure. A week before I turned 20, yeah, she's 23. She's a nurse. She achieved what she needed to do. She looks just like me, but real skinnier, like hella skinny and tall. She's taller than me. And straight, light brown hair. That's all I remember of my kid. And then I had another kid, she's 17.
How many kids total?
4. 2 girls first. Her, she's 23, and then I have a 17-year-old and a 13-year-old that I have with one guy, with my other baby dad. So I have 3 baby dads. Then I have a 9-year-old that I was actually able to raise, you know, that's still in my life, that loves the hell out of me, that wants me to do good, that blames his dad for everything that I'm doing because it is his fault. He said, if you didn't go with that lady, my mom would still be here. He blames him for a lot of stuff. My son's going through a lot of psychological stuff right now, a lot of depression. He sees a therapist. He's autistic. He's on the autism spectrum. He's on the spectrum, but very, very low, which is Asperger's. But his dad would always complain about the way that I was raising my kid. And he does worse. He yells at my kid. My kid's 9 years old. Like when I go there to visit, he'll start yelling at him if he doesn't wash his hands properly or touch something or puts oil on something. It's like, really? He's a kid, you know? And then he bitches at me. He starts cussing at me. And I'm like, you know what? I'm so glad. And then this came along, this hotel. I've been there for about a month and a half. And it's like the first thing that has ever gone right since I've been out here. Like really correct the way that it's supposed to happen. Because they were gonna put me in a shelter, like on 14th and Paloma. And I said, no, I don't wanna be around. I'm very, very personal. Like, I don't like people knowing my business. I'm a little bit messy. Like, not dirty messy, but like unorganized messy. Clothes everywhere, like all that kind of stuff. Makeup everywhere, you know, and I like to wash clothes by hand. So like my room has all these clothes hanging up in my room because I wash by hand. I like to wash by hand. I don't know. It's just, I don't know why.
Were you homeless before that?
Yeah.
In a tent?
Yeah, I had a tent, and then I built a house. I built one by the railroad tracks, by the parole office. I built one out of wood, and then I got jealous people, and then they tore my stuff down and ripped everything up, and I was like, whatever, you guys can have the street. You guys want that, you can have it. It's okay, don't worry. And right when I figured out, you know what, just let everything go. Because none of the stuff that I have, I paid for. Nothing. Found in the trash, it was given to me. Everything that I buy is bought with recycled money. Always, it's never from my pocket. It's from my pocket, but it's never from my pocket. It's from a can or whatever that I turn in for that money. It's all recycled, everything. So anything and everything you will ever see me wear, I found. Most likely I found on the street. Like all this was thrown in the trash. Like all this, the shorts, shoes, everything in the trash. Like people just don't, like I have Abercrombie and Finch. I have Juicy Couture perfume. I have all that. Yeah, I look good, smell good, all that. And don't have to pay for nothing. Once I start buying stuff from the store, then shit starts going bad for me. So I gotta rewind and take it back and then use it for something else. Like I had to learn the value of money this time. That's what I know, that I had to learn the value of money because I was spending money so badly. When I was in this other relationship with my son's dad, I was with him 12 years, almost 12 years, clean and sober. I was a nurse. I worked for Kaiser. I worked for Ralph's in Hollywood. Did in-home care, hospice care. And I lost it all because I started getting high and drinking because I was depressed because my ex is a liar. That's all. You know, he's a liar. The whole relationship was fake to him. He felt sorry for me, whatever, you know.
You've had quite a life.
He said I disgust him.
You've had quite a life for a 44-year-old.
Woo! I've been killed twice. I was dead, literally.
What do you think is put you on this path? I mean, because your story involves prostitution and drug addiction and homelessness.
What put me on this path
abusive relationships and all this stuff.
What put me on this path is for me to be testimony. I think for me to be testimony and proof that, you know what, as much curveballs, as much fucking strikes out that I got thrown, I'm still here. I'm still here. I have my teeth. I don't have scars on my face. I don't have any fingers cut off. So that means I'm not a thief. You know, I'm not a snitch. You know, I'm none of that. I'm just me. I just gotta be honest, truthful, tell the truth. And whatever I say behind a person's back, I can say in front of their face. Like, if somebody asks me something, okay, yeah, bring him here. Let me see. Come on, bring him here. Now they're scared of me. They don't take my stuff. Like my bike, I had it locked up over here on the other street with a rinky-dink lock. They didn't take it because they know I'll take all theirs or set all their stuff on fire.
Do you have any regrets in your life?
My regret? The regret that I do have in my life is, no, I don't. I don't have any regrets. The only regret is that I wasn't able to be there for my mom and my grandma when they passed. That's the only thing, really. But everything else, that's the way God wanted it to happen, because otherwise it wouldn't have happened the way it happened. I just have to learn how to I had to learn how to sit with myself. I had to learn how to value money. Like, I'm broke. I'm total broke right now, like total broke, but I have everything I need. They give you 3 meals at this hotel, good food, not no nasty food like jailhouse food. It's good food. They have actual cooks, you know? You get 3 meals, what more can you ask for? Cable TV, king-size bed. Yeah, there's a curfew. Oh, well, there's a curfew, but people work Postmates, they work DoorDash, they work all that. I'm in and out all night. They don't care, as long as it's all how you carry yourself. Like, looking at me, I clean up real good. Like, right now I look like crap, but like, I can clean up real good. You wouldn't even be able to tell that I'm homeless or that I'm high as fuck. Part of my language, but you wouldn't be able to tell.
What are you using today?
Crystal meth. Yeah, but I haven't done any since like 2 days. Cause I haven't really had money. You know, I've had more other priorities. Like I went to the store, well, right now I just had I had like about $15. I bought an outfit.
Does that mean that you could quit crystal meth if you wanted to?
Oh, I can. I've quit for a whole week.
If you've gone 2 days now. Yeah.
I've gone, yeah. I mean, I'm kind of craving it a little bit. I'm tired. I've been up. My mind I'm like ADHD, like big time. My mind is total. I'm thinking about what I'm gotta do later, what I gotta do tomorrow. And when I go to sleep, I really don't sleep because my mind is still working. Like, I dream about what I'm gonna do the next day. Like, it's all in my head. My mind needs to like rewind and like relax. All this out here, believe it or not, is very stressful.
Oh yeah.
Like, especially for a female by yourself, like single. I don't want no boyfriend. I don't need no guy. Why? I need a guy. I do a lot more by myself than they do in their whole life. You know? I do more in one day than they do in a whole week. You know? Like, and then you get the weirdos. Like, weirdos that like, that don't want to pay nothing, you know? That just want to sit and smoke your dope on your pipe and want you to suck their dick. I'm like, what the hell? You want me to do that shit? Get that shit out of my face.
Is prostitution still part of your life?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I have regulars that I've known for years. You know, if I see a regular or if I'm really, really in need of money, I will turn a date. I'm not saying I don't. I use rubbers all the time. I have rubbers in my purse, you know? You can't put nothing past, you know? I'm not ashamed of what I do, but I'm not gonna front myself off and make myself look like that because certain people see me a different way. Like over by MacArthur Park, they don't know that I do that. When I go over that way, I carry myself different, you know? They don't know. So I don't want them. I'm ashamed of that part of my life. The prostitution, I'm ashamed of that. Especially when I see people that I've dated and then I see their families. I'm like, oh, fuck. They got their wife with them and their kids. And then they're trying to hit on me while they're there. I'm like, what the hell? That's not cool. Don't do that to her like that. Don't treat her like that. Love her. You love her, right? You know, like there's one federal railroad cop from Santa Fe Railroad. Like, he likes me a lot, but he has a wife. And I told him the other day, I said, you know what? I said, all this nice stuff that you're saying to me, say it to your wife. all this stuff that you buy for me, supposedly, buy it for your wife. But you should appreciate it. Because I appreciate it. If I appreciate it, she'll appreciate it. And be faithful to her. You know, that's what I told him. He cried. I was like, what the hell are you crying for? I'm just telling the truth. I said, because it's really fucked up feeling when you know your partner is actually, or your husband is actually cheating on you. So I've had it happen to me. That's why I really don't like dating. Because the majority are men that are married and that don't want their wife, or their wife won't give them head, or their wife won't do this, their wife won't do that. That's why they come and look for other people to do it, or they're on their period or whatever, you know? So like, that's why I really don't like to do it. You know, I try not to.
And what's the most important lesson you've learned in your life?
Patience. Patience and perseverance. Like, and to listen. To listen and listen, really listen. Like, not just sit there and like, say, I hear, but to really listen to people. Like, because everybody has a story. Everybody needs, like a lady the other day, she came up to me, a black lady, and she was real dirty, and she said, can I speak to you for a minute? And I said, yes. And she goes, I'm gonna kill myself today. I said, no, you're not. Why do you say that? She said, you know, you're the first person that I asked that actually said yes, that you speak to me. And I saved that woman's life. She was gonna go kill herself. I seen her today, so that was kind of nice. You know, I seen her today and I was like, wow. I was like, she all cleaned up and stuff. She's staying at the other one's shelter. And she thanked me for being an ear. So I was like, wow. That's stuff like that. That's what. And I've saved people's lives since I've been out here. Brought them back after overdosing. So I was the only one there. So like, I think there was a certain purpose, but my main purpose was to come out. My main purpose why I am still here doing this stuff, but everything's coming together real quick, like in less than 2 years instead of 25 or whatever, is because I already learned my lesson. I learned the value of money, big time. I had my hands were all tore up because I recycle. So like my hands right now, they're okay because I haven't had to recycle. I have a place to stay. You know, I'm not on the street. I'm not dirty. I'm not touching the ground. I'm not getting high on the street or whatever. But like, I value people that have hard-working hands that look really bad. I value them and I appreciate them. That's what I had to learn that. Because I would make fun of people, like inside, not make fun of them, but like, be like, ooh, I didn't want to touch their hand or whatever. And now I see, because people don't want to touch my hand sometimes, you know? And people look at me all weird and strange, and kids run from me, and I try to be nice to them, you know? I'm like, dang, I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm so scary to you, you know? I told a little kid that, and the little kid started crying. I was like, what the heck? And I told the lady, I said, hey, you know, you should teach your kid, you know, we're not that bad. You know, or they grab their purse. And I'm like, bitch, my purse is a Louis Vuitton. Yours is a fake one. What the hell? You know, why are you holding your purse? I should be holding mine. You know? Like, people are just scary. It's just a stereotyping of everybody. The way people perceive us as homeless. You know? Like, it's total, I don't know.
All right, but, Tiffany.
All right. Thank you so much,
Thank
Mark.
you so much for sharing your story.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.